Commander Lily Morgan stood on the bridge of the starship Defiance, her eyes fixed on the massive alien vessel that loomed ahead. The vessel belonged to the Xeraxian Empire, a species that had dominated this sector of space for centuries. The Xeraxians were tall, slender beings with iridescent skin that shifted colors with their moods. Their technology was said to be unmatched in the galaxy, and they ruled with an iron grip over dozens of worlds. They had never encountered humans before today. Lily felt sweat forming on her brow. This was the first official contact between humanity and the mighty Xeraxian Empire. She had been chosen to represent Earth because of her diplomatic skills and her background in xenobiology, but nothing could have prepared her for the sheer intimidation of facing such an advanced civilization. She glanced at her second-in-command, Kate Wilson, who was monitoring the communications array. Kate looked up, her face tense. "We are receiving a transmission from the Xeraxian flagship. Commander put them through," Lily said. Straightening her uniform, the view screen flickered to life, revealing a Xeraxian female. The alien had skin that shimmered with blues and purples. Her eyes were large and completely black. Her head was adorned with what appeared to be living tendrils that moved slowly as if underwater. "I am High Admiral Zilra of the Xeraxian Empire," the alien said, her voice translated through the ship computers. "What brings your primitive vessel into our sovereign territory?" Lily kept her expression neutral despite the insult. "My name is Commander Lily Morgan of Earth. We come in peace seeking diplomatic relations with your people." The Xeraxian made a sound that might have been laughter. "Your small vessel hardly seems capable of interstellar travel. How did you manage to reach our space?" Before Lily could respond, alarms blared throughout the Defiance. Commander sensors detect 3 Xeraxian warships approaching fast. Kate shouted, "They have weapons, locked on us." The High Admiral smiled, showing rows of small pointed teeth. "This is merely a precaution. Commander Morgan, we must ensure you pose no threat to our empire." Lily felt her heart racing but kept her voice steady. "We have no hostile intentions. Admiral, our ship is primarily scientific in nature." On the view screen, the Xeraxian Admiral narrowed her eyes. "Your vessel appears to have some interesting technology. We would like to inspect it more closely. You will power down your systems and prepare to be boarded." Kate shot Lily a worried look. "This is not a request we can comply with, Commander," she whispered. "The Defiance holds classified Earth technology." Lily nodded subtly, then addressed the alien admiral. "I apologize, but we cannot allow boarding of our vessel without prior diplomatic agreements. Perhaps we can arrange a neutral meeting location." The tendrils on the Xeraxian admiral's head began moving more rapidly, a sign of irritation. "You misunderstand, human. This is not a negotiation. Your technology is surprisingly advanced for such a young species. We need to ensure it was not stolen from one of our protectorate races, Susan Lee." The ship's tactical officer spoke up quietly from her station. "Commander, the Xeraxian vessels are powering up weapons. They will be in firing range in 30 seconds. Lily made a quick decision. "Kate, activate protocol." Sunburst. Kate looked surprised but immediately began typing commands into her console. The ship's lights dimmed momentarily, and a subtle vibration ran through the floor on the view screen. The Xeraxian admiral suddenly looked alarmed. "What are you doing?" she demanded. "I apologize, Admiral, but we must decline your boarding request," Lily replied calmly. "We will be departing your territory immediately." Admiral hissed, "You cannot outrun our warships, your primitive engines." The transmission cut off as Kate disabled the communications array. "All stations battle ready," Lily ordered. "Deploy the shield array." The crew moved with practiced efficiency. The Defiance had been built in secret on Earth using technology that humanity had kept hidden from alien observation. The ship appeared primitive on the outside but contained advancements that even the Xeraxians had not achieved. "Commander, the enemy ships are firing their primary weapons." Susan reported, her voice steady. "Despite the danger, activate the quantum shields," Lily ordered. The space around the Defiance shimmered as an invisible barrier formed. The Xeraxian weapons fire struck the shields and dissipated harmlessly. The crew watched in silence as the enemy continued firing with increasing intensity. "They can't penetrate our defenses," Kate said with a hint of pride. Lily nodded. "Now let's show them what else we can do." "Michelle, activate the phase." "Drive, Michelle." Brown, the ship's engineer, activated a series of controls. The stars outside the viewports began to stretch and blur on the Xeraxian flagship. Admiral Zilra watched in disbelief as the human vessel seemed to flicker and distort before her eyes. Her science officer, a female Xeraxian named Ezra, approached her station. "High Admiral. The alien vessel is generating some kind of spatial distortion. We have never seen this technology before. Impossible." Zilra snapped. "These humans are a primitive species. They barely have achieved interstellar travel." The science officer checked her readings again. "The energy signature is unlike anything in our database. It appears they are creating a localized phase shift in real space." Zilra stared at the view screen as the human ship began to fade from view. "Increase power to tractor beam," she ordered. "Capture that vessel." "Too late, High Admiral," the science officer replied. "The human ship has completely phased out of our dimension. We cannot track it back aboard." The Defiance. The crew cheered as they successfully escaped the Xeraxian warships. The phase drive was humanity's greatest technological achievement, allowing the ship to partially shift into another dimension, making it impossible to track or attack. Lily allowed herself a small smile. Kate set course back to Earth. "We need to report this encounter." The Xeraxian Empire had underestimated humanity, assuming that because humans were new to the galactic stage, they must be technologically inferior. They had no idea that Earth had been quietly developing advanced technology for centuries, preparing for their eventual emergence onto the cosmic scene. When the Defiance returned to Earth, Lily delivered her report to the United Earth Defense Council. The room was filled with military and scientific leaders, all eager to hear about the first contact with the Xeraxians. Admiral Beth Harris, head of the Earth Defense Fleet, listened intently as Lily described the encounter. "So they attempted to seize our ship?" she asked. "Yes, Mom," Lily replied. "They seemed particularly interested in our technology. I believe they were surprised by our level of advancement." Beth nodded. "We expected this. The Xeraxians have dominated their sector through technological superiority. They conquer any species they see as a potential rival." Laura Chen, the head scientist for the Defense Council, spoke up. "The phase drive worked perfectly." Then Lily nodded. "The Xeraxians had no way to track us. Their sensors couldn't even comprehend what they were seeing." Beth stood up, pacing the room. "This encounter confirms our intelligence reports. The Xeraxians will see humanity as a threat now. They won't rest until they understand our technology." Laura smiled. "This gives us an advantage. They underestimate us. They think we're primitive newcomers to space travel. They have no idea we've been studying the galaxy for centuries." Beth turned to Lily. "Commander Morgan, I want the Defiance ready to deploy again in 48 hours. We need to gather more intelligence on Xeraxian capabilities." Lily left the council chamber and made her way to the observation deck of Earth Orbital Station 1. The massive space station served as the headquarters for Earth's defense forces and was home to thousands of personnel. From the large windows, Lily could see Earth below, a beautiful blue marble against the blackness of space. She thought about what the Xeraxians would do if they knew the full extent of human technology. For centuries, Earth had kept its true capabilities hidden, preparing for the day when they would finally encounter other intelligent species. Amy Clark, the ship's doctor, joined Lily at the window. "How did the council take your report?" she asked. "They weren't surprised," Lily replied. "They knew the Xeraxians would react this way. It's why they sent us in the first place." Amy frowned. "We poked the beehive on purpose." "In a way," Lily said. "We needed to see how they would respond to us. The Defiance was designed to look less advanced than it actually is. We wanted to see if they would treat us as equals or as a potential conquest." "And now we know," Amy said softly. "Yes, now we know." The next day, Lily met with her crew to brief them on their new mission. The Defiance would return to Xeraxian space, but this time they would bring a surprise. Our orders are to make contact with the Xeraxians again, Lily explained. But this time, we will be escorted by 5 ships from the Ghost Fleet. The crew exchanged excited glances. The Ghost Fleet was Earth's most advanced battle group ships equipped with technology that most humans didn't even know existed. Kate smiled. The Xeraxians won't know what hit them, Lily shook her head. This isn't about starting a war, Kate. It's about establishing a position of strength. We need the Xeraxians to understand that humanity isn't an easy target. For the next 24 hours, the crew prepared the Defiance for its second. Mission engineers checked the phase drive, weapons specialists calibrated the defense systems, and communication officers studied Xeraxian language patterns. Meanwhile, in another part of the solar system, 5 vessels of the Ghost Fleet activated their engines for the first time in years. These ships were larger than the Defiance and far more powerful. Their hulls were made of a special material that absorbed sensor scans, making them nearly invisible to conventional detection methods. Each ship carried weapons that could destroy a small moon and defensive systems that could withstand the combined firepower of an entire alien fleet. They had been built in secret hidden bases throughout the solar system, part of humanity's contingency. Planned for first contact, Admiral Beth Harris personally oversaw the deployment of the Ghost Fleet. This will be the first time these ships have been seen by alien eyes, she told the fleet commanders. Remember your orders, show strength but do not provoke unnecessarily. We want the Xeraxians to respect us, not fear us, on the day of departure. Lily stood on the bridge of the Defiance watching as the 5 Ghost Fleet ships took up formation around her vessel. They were beautiful in a dangerous way. Their dark hulls barely reflecting the light of the distant sun. Michelle Brown whistled softly as she looked at the sensor readings. Those ships are incredible, Commander. Their power output is off the charts. Lily nodded. The Xeraxians think we're a young species fumbling our way into space. They have no idea how long we've been preparing for this. The small fleet left Earth orbit, moving faster than any known ship in the galaxy. The phase drives allowed them to cross vast distances in hours rather than weeks or months. They traveled in silence, their communication systems inactive to avoid detection, as they approached Xeraxian space. Lily felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. This second meeting would set the tone for humanity's relationship with the Xeraxian Empire. Would it be peace built on mutual respect, or would it be the beginning of a long Cold War between 2 powerful civilizations? Only time would tell. The human fleet emerged from phase space at the edge of the Xeraxian territory. The 6 ships formed a perfect formation with the Defiance in the center. The moment they appeared, alarms began blaring throughout the Xeraxian border outposts. On the Xeraxian command station, Admiral Zilra was summoned from her quarters. The bridge was in chaos as officers frantically worked at their stations. What is happening? Zilra demanded. Commander Vex, a tall Xeraxian male, turned to her, his skin flashing yellow. With alarm, the humans have returned, High Admiral. But they are not alone. Shilra pushed past him to look at the main view screen. Her tendrils froze in shock as she saw the 6 human vessels hovering just outside their territory. The Defiance she recognized immediately, but the other 5 ships were new. They were sleek, predatory vessels that seemed to absorb the light around them. How did they get past our sensor grid? Zilra asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Our detection network covers 50 light years in all directions. Nothing should be able to approach without warning. The sensor officer looked up, her skin pale with stress. They just appeared, High Admiral. One moment there was nothing, and the next they were there. Our sensors show no warp signatures, no hyperspace ruptures. They simply materialized. Shilra narrowed her eyes. Open a channel to the Defiance. The communications officer quickly established contact, and Commander Lily Morgan's face appeared on the view screen. Admiral Zilra, the human said with a polite nod. I hope we find you well. Zilra kept her voice steady. You return quickly, Commander, and with friends, Lily smiled. These are vessels from Earth's defense fleet. They are here as an escort, and to demonstrate our peaceful intentions. Zilra almost laughed at the obvious lie. No peaceful delegation brings warships, Commander. Your actions during our last meeting suggested that a show of strength might be necessary for productive dialogue. Lily replied. Shilra studied the human ships with growing concern. Their design was unlike anything she had seen before. The Xeraxian Empire had conquered hundreds of species across thousands of years, but none had possessed technology like this. What are you proposing? Commander Morgan Zilra asked. Diplomatic meeting, Lily said, between representatives of Earth and the Xeraxian Empire. We wish to establish peaceful relations and perhaps trade agreements. Shilra considered her options. The Empire had always dealt with new species from a position of technological superiority, but these humans seemed to possess technology that rivaled or even surpassed Xeraxian capabilities. Very well, Commander Zilra said finally. There is a neutral space station in the Vega system. We can meet there in 3 days. Lily nodded. Thank you, Admiral. We look forward to it. As the transmission ended, Zilra turned to her second-in-command. Scan those ships. I want to know everything about them. What weapons they carry. What defenses. What propulsion systems. Commander, Vex frowned. Our scans can't penetrate their hulls. Hi, Admiral. The material seems to absorb our sensor beams. We can only get basic readings. Shilra hissed in frustration. Send the data to Imperial Intelligence. I want our best scientists analyzing this immediately and contact the Emperor. I need to speak with him urgently. Meanwhile, aboard the Defiance, Lily and her crew celebrated the small victory. They agreed to meet with us. Kate said, That means they're taking us seriously. Lily nodded. But we need to be careful. The Xeraxians have ruled this sector for centuries. They won't give up their position of power easily. Susan Lee, the tactical officer, spoke up. Should we really trust them? Commander, this could be a trap. Lily smiled. That is why we brought the Ghost Fleet, Susan. The Xeraxians need to understand that humanity can't be conquered or intimidated. For the next 3 days, the human fleet remained at the border of Xeraxian space, a silent reminder of Earth's capabilities. The Xeraxians kept their distance, watching warily as more of their warships gathered nearby. On the 3rd day, the human fleet traveled to the Vega system, a neutral zone between Xeraxian territory and several independent worlds. The space station there was an ancient structure built by a long-extinct civilization. It had served as neutral ground for diplomatic meetings for thousands of years. As the human ships approached, Lily could see dozens of alien vessels in orbit around the station. Most were Xeraxian, but there were others as well, ships from species she had never seen before, all gathered to witness the historic meeting between humans and Xeraxians. Lily selected a small delegation to accompany her to the station. Kate Wilson would come as her second-in-command, along with Amy Clark for medical expertise and Susan Lee for security. The 4 women boarded a shuttle and departed from the Defiance as they approached the space station. Lily could see its massive scale. The structure was shaped like a giant wheel slowly rotating to create artificial gravity. Its outer ring was covered in docking ports where ships of all shapes and sizes were attached. Their shuttle docked at the designated port, and the 4 humans stepped into the station. Lily immediately felt the difference in gravity and air composition. The station was set to accommodate a variety of species, which meant conditions weren't ideal for any of them. A group of Xeraxians waited for them at the airlock. High Admiral Zilra stood at the front, flanked by 4 other Xeraxians whose skin shifted through various shades of blue and green. Welcome to Vega Station. Commander Morgan Zilra said. Her voice carried a tone that Lily couldn't quite identify. Perhaps it was respect, or perhaps it was fear. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, Admiral, Lily replied. We have much to discuss. The 2 delegations moved through the station toward the central chamber. Aliens of various species stopped to stare at the humans. Many had never seen their kind before. Earth had kept a low profile in the galaxy until now. The central chamber was a large circular room with a round table in the middle. Representatives from several major galactic powers were already seated there waiting to witness the historic meeting. As Lily took her seat, she knew that the future of human-Xeraxian relations hung in the balance. The next few hours would determine whether their two species would be friends or enemies. The diplomatic meeting began with formal introductions. Zilra introduced the Ziraxian delegation, which included military officers, scientific advisors, and political representatives. Lily introduced her small team, keeping her words brief and to the point. The first hour of negotiations was tense but productive. The humans presented their proposal for peaceful relations, including trade agreements, mutual defense pacts, and cultural exchanges. The Ziraxians listened with obvious skepticism, their tendrils twitching nervously. During a brief recess, Lily and Kate stepped away from the main table to confer. They seem worried. Kate whispered, "They keep looking at each other when they think we're not watching." Lily nodded. They've been the dominant power. In this sector for centuries, the idea of sharing that power must be unsettling. Kate smiled slightly. Look at the other species representatives. Their body language suggests they're enjoying seeing the Ziraxians uncomfortable. Indeed, the other alien. Delegations watched the proceedings with great interest. Some seemed almost hopeful, as if they saw the humans as potential allies against Ziraxian dominance. As the negotiations resumed, Zilra leaned forward, her skin shifting to a deep purple. "Commander Morgan," she said, "your proposals are interesting, but we have concerns about your true intentions." "How so, Admiral?" Lily asked. "You appear in our space with advanced technology that by all accounts should be beyond your capabilities." Zilra said, "You bring warships to a peace negotiation. You speak of cooperation, yet you clearly have been developing military technology in secret." Lily kept her expression neutral. "Admiral Zilra, humanity has existed in isolation for centuries. We developed our technology to ensure our survival. We bring warships because your first action upon meeting us was to attempt to seize our vessel. Your empire has a reputation for conquering species with valuable technology." Zilra's tendrils writhed with irritation. "You know much about us for a species that claims to have been isolated. We have been observant," Lily replied. "We may be newcomers to galactic politics, but we are not naive." Before Zilra could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the station. A Ziraxian officer rushed into the chamber, his skin flashing urgent patterns of red and orange. "Hi, Admiral," he gasped. "3 warships have just dropped out of hyperspace. They bear the insignia of the Krell Dominion." The room erupted into chaos. The Krell were notorious raiders, a violent species that attacked weaker worlds, stealing resources and technology. They were one of the few powers that dared to challenge the Ziraxian Empire. The station's commander, a tall insectoid alien, activated the central holographic display. The image showed 3 massive warships approaching the station. Their hulls were covered in spikes and weapon ports glowed with energy. "The Krell flagship is hailing the station," the commander announced. "Put them through," Zilra ordered. The holographic display shifted, showing a Krell commander. The alien was reptilian, with scales that gleamed like metal and eyes that burned with yellow fire. "This is Warlord Kraz of the Krell Dominion," the alien hissed. "We have come for the human vessel. Surrender it and the humans, or we will destroy this station." Lily stood up. "Why would you want our ship?" she demanded. The Krell warlord laughed. "We have been monitoring your negotiations, human. Your species possesses technology that would make the Krell invincible. We will have it." Zilra turned to Lily, her expression unreadable. "Did you lead them here, Commander?" Lily shook her head. "Admiral, we had no knowledge of the Krell. Our intelligence suggested they operated in a different sector." Zilra seemed to believe her. The Ziraxian admiral turned back to the hologram. "Warlord Kraz, the humans are under our protection. The Ziraxian Empire does not surrender to raiders and thieves," the Krell warlord snarled. "We anticipated your response, Admiral. The Krell Dominion has grown tired of living in the shadow of the Ziraxian Empire. Today we will demonstrate our power." The transmission cut off and the holographic display returned to showing the Krell ships. Their weapons were powering up, targeting the station, and the vessels docked there. The station's commander spoke urgently. "Our shields cannot withstand a direct assault from Krell warships. We must evacuate." Lily turned to her team. "We need to get back to the Defiance. Kate, contact the Ghost Fleet. Tell them to Prepare for combat, as the human delegation rushed toward their docking bay. Silra followed them. High Admiral, the station commander called. We must get you to safety. Silra ignored him, staying with the humans. Commander Morgan, she said. These Krell. They seek your technology. Do you have weapons that can stop them? Lily hesitated for a moment, then nodded. Yes, Admiral. We do. Then I suggest a temporary alliance. Silra said. The Krell are enemies to us both. Lily smiled slightly. I accept your offer, Admiral. The two delegations reached the docking bay together. As they boarded their respective shuttles, Lily turned to Silra. We will protect the station, Admiral. You have my word. The shuttle carrying the human delegation detached from the station and raced toward the Defiance. In the distance, the Krell warships were advancing their weapons, beginning to fire. The first volley struck the station's outer shields, causing them to flicker dangerously. Aboard the Defiance, Lily took command, ordering her crew to battle stations. The 5 ships of the Ghost Fleet moved into defensive positions surrounding the station commander. The Krell ships are firing again, Susan reported. Their weapons are more powerful than our intelligence suggested. Lily nodded. Activate all defensive systems and prepare the solar lance. The crew exchanged surprised glances. The solar lance was Earth's most powerful weapon, a closely guarded secret that had never been used in actual combat. Michelle Brown, at the engineering station, looked up from her console. Commander, the solar lance requires enormous power. We would need to divert energy from all other systems, including life support. Do it, Lily ordered. We need to show the Krell and the Zeraxians that humanity is not to be trifled with. As the crew prepared the weapon, the Krell ships continued their assault. The station's shields were failing and several smaller vessels had already been destroyed. The Zeraxian warships were returning fire, but their weapons seemed ineffective. Against the Krell defenses, Lily watched the battle unfold on the main view screen. Solar lance status, she asked. Charging at 60%, Michelle replied. Another 2 minutes until full power. We may not have 2 minutes. Kate said. The station shields are collapsing. Lily made a quick decision. Fire at 75% power. Target the lead. Krell vessel. Michelle nodded and activated the weapon. A section of the Defiance's hull retracted, revealing a massive cannon unlike anything seen in the galaxy before. The weapon began to glow with blinding light as energy collected at its focal point. The Krell noticed the weapon too late. The lead warship attempted to turn, but it was already in the solar lance's targeting path fire. Lily ordered. Beam of pure white energy erupted from the Defiance, striking the Krell flagship. The energy cut through the ship's shields like they weren't even there and sliced the massive vessel in half. The explosion that followed was so bright that the view screen automatically dimmed to protect the crew's eyes. In the silence that followed, everyone on the bridge stared in awe at what they had just witnessed. The remaining Krell ships had stopped firing, clearly shocked by the destruction of their flagship. Open a channel to the Krell vessels, Lily ordered. The communications officer established a connection, and Lily stood tall as she addressed the remaining Krell ships. This is Commander Lily Morgan of Earth, she said, her voice firm. This was a demonstration of just one of our defensive capabilities. If you value your ships and your lives, you will leave this system immediately. We have no desire for conflict, but we will protect ourselves and our allies. On the view screen, a new Krell commander appeared, his scales pale with shock. What kind of weapon was that, he demanded. That information is classified, Lily replied. But know that our other vessels carry similar armaments. Your scan data will confirm this. The Krell commander hissed in frustration. This is not overhuman. We will. Lily cut him off. You have 60 seconds to begin retreat, or we will target your vessel next. The choice is yours. The Krell ships didn't wait the full minute. Their engines flared to life and they turned away from the station, accelerating quickly until they disappeared into hyperspace. The bridge crew of the Defiance cheered, but Lily kept her expression serious. Kate, damage report, minor damage to decks 3 and 4. Kate reported, the solar lance drained our power reserves, but systems are already recovering. Casualties, Lily nodded. Open a channel to Admiral Silra. The Zeraxian admiral's face appeared on screen, her expression a mixture of shock and respect. That was quite impressive. Commander Morgan, she said, you destroyed a Krell battleship with a single shot. Thank you for the assistance, Admiral Lily replied. The Krell threat has been neutralized for now, but they will return with greater numbers. Zilra was silent for a moment, her tendrils moving slowly in thought. Perhaps we should continue our negotiations, Commander, she said finally. In light of recent events, Lily smiled. I believe that would be wise, Admiral. The diplomatic talks resumed aboard the Defiance, this time with a very different atmosphere. The Ziraxians no longer viewed the humans as potential subjects, but as equals, perhaps even as superiors in some aspects of technology. 3 days later, Lily stood before the United Earth Defense Council, once again delivering her report on the Ziraxian negotiations and the encounter with the Krell. The Council has accepted our initial treaty with the Ziraxian Empire, she explained. We have established formal diplomatic relations and agreed to mutual defense against the Krell Admiral. Beth Harris nodded. The Ziraxians' attitude toward us has changed significantly. Yes, Mom, Lily said. After witnessing our technology in action, they realized that attempting to conquer Earth would be costly if not impossible. They prefer us as allies. Laura Chen, the head scientist, smiled. And what if the Krell did? They attempt to contact us again. Not yet, Lily replied. But our intelligence suggests they are gathering their forces. They will not forgive the destruction of one of their warships. Beth leaned forward in her chair. The Krell Dominion has been a menace to this sector for centuries. Their technology is advanced, but their society is based on conquest and theft. They lack the scientific foundation to develop new technologies on their own. Exactly, Lily agreed, which is why they wanted our ships. They hope to reverse engineer our phase drive and the solar lance, then we must prepare for war with the Krell. Beth said. 6 months passed. Earth established embassies on several alien worlds, including the Ziraxian homeworld. The revelation of humanities. Advanced technology had changed the balance of power in the galaxy. Many species now sought alliances with Earth, seeing humans as a counterbalance to Ziraxian dominance. Lily Morgan had been promoted to Admiral and given command of the expanded Ghost Fleet. Her experiences with the Ziraxians had made her the natural choice to lead Earth's new interstellar defense force. She stood on the bridge of her new flagship, the Invictus, watching as a fleet of 30 Earth vessels prepared for their mission. Intelligence had confirmed that the Krell were massing their forces for an attack on human and Ziraxian territories. Admiral Zilra had become an unlikely ally in the months following their first meeting. The Ziraxian Empire had agreed to join forces with Earth against the Krell threat. A combined fleet of Ziraxian and human warships would meet the Krell in deep space before they could threaten any inhabited worlds. Lily reviewed the tactical displays. A communication came through from Zilra's flagship. Are your ships ready, Admiral Morgan? Zilra asked, her tendrils moving with anticipation. We are ready, Admiral Lily confirmed. The Ghost Fleet will take the lead position. Our phase drives will allow us to flank the Krell while your forces engage them directly. Zilra nodded. The Emperor has authorized me to share our cloaking technology with your fleet. The combination of your phase drives and our cloaking devices should give us a significant advantage. Lily smiled. Thank you, Admiral. The first step toward a true alliance. The Ziraxian seemed to hesitate. Then in a lower voice she added, My scientists have studied the data from your solar lance weapon. They believe it draws power directly from nearby stars. A technology we thought was theoretically impossible. Lily neither confirmed nor denied this. The origins of Earth's advanced technology remained classified even from their new allies. What matters is that we face this threat together, Lily said. Our combined strength will be enough to defeat the Krell. Zilra nodded. The Ziraxian Empire has stood alone for thousands of years. We conquered rather than cooperated. It will take time for my people to adjust to this new approach. Change is never easy, Lily replied. But sometimes it is necessary. As the combined fleet prepared to depart, Lily reflected on how quickly the galaxy had changed. 6 months ago, humans were unknown on the galactic stage. Now they were a major power allied with the mighty Xeraxian Empire against a common enemy. The truth was that humanity had been preparing for this moment for centuries, observing alien civilizations, learning their strengths and weaknesses, developing technologies that would give Earth an advantage when they finally revealed themselves to the galaxy. The Xeraxians had underestimated humans, assuming that because they were newcomers to space, they must be primitive and weak. It was an assumption that many species had made throughout history. Often to their detriment, Lily gave the order and the massive fleet began to move. Thousands of ships, human and Xeraxian, accelerating into the darkness of space. Their mission to protect not just their own worlds but all civilized planets from the Krell threat. The galaxy would never be the same again. Humanity had arrived and the old powers had to adjust to this new reality. Earth would not be conquered, would not be subjugated, would not be controlled. As her ship entered phase space, Lily Morgan smiled. The future belonged to those who were prepared for it, and humanity had been preparing for a very long time.